see Slick Daddy here. He don't ever look on the team.
Exactly.
He got come up, clean him up.
Well featured.
Huh? What's up, man? Well, Coach. Alright, how we doing this?
You would open the statement?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about this season. Very happy with the summer we've had. Our kids, I think they've worked very hard, did some really good things. Again, from coming from spring to summer, as far as the football part of the things that are going on, I really like the chemistry of this football team. There's a really tight dynamic between those guys, and I'm excited to see them. And I think it's from the exuberance of youth and talent and guys trying to be the next guy up and trying to take the next position and battling, but have done it in a very cohesive way, which sometimes doesn't always happen. You know what I mean? You have guys battling. It's been a very, important from our strength and conditioning guys that the guys have excelled very well. It's been a lot of camaraderie, a lot of excitement, and looking forward to it. Like I said, again, look forward to it about as much as any season I have in the past, because of I think you have so many young, talented players, and watching them grow and where they keep taking the steps and and what they're becoming. And look forward to the season. And we've keep implementing all the programs in which we have and trying to keep developing our guys and get ready, because it's going to be here quick. August 5th, we're going to kick it off. Like the summer, I think the summers go faster and faster and faster each year. They seem to fly by. So, but excited. We'll have another great season. Question?
Jimbo, you and President Fisher released a few statements, but what have the last few weeks been feeling like with some of the
just addressing issues and problems, and disappointed we had an instance, and with what goes on. So, but you have to continue to educate your kids. You have to continue to educate them. And we've had a very extensive program in all the different phases of. We go over 40 days a year of bringing in character building people, developmental conditioning. Issues with drugs, alcohol, opposite sex, domestic violence. We've done those things, and we've done it from the very first day I've ever been there. And we don't publicize it a lot, but just like now, the situation, just like a game plan. You have a game plan, you do things, and as people adjust or different problems occur, you add to your game plan. So we're stepping up our process now with domestic violence and different programs in which we have to try to keep educating our kids and educating them not just on that, but how to see situations coming, how to handle situations when they're there, how to get them, how to avoid those situations when they're there, and how to act and what to do, and so they don't make mistakes. And it's a shame that we had the instance we had, but the young man was a tremendous guy. Never been in trouble in his life, but he made a bad choice. And hopefully, it was funny the day in the week that he was there, we had special elite force guys in from. There's a lot of groups of people that have a lot of these same issues we have. We bring in Navy SEAL people. We bring in other people, psychologically, all have the same issues of dealing with it all across the country. And that week we had a guy in there about learning to make choices. We had one of our Navy SEAL leaders in teaching guys how to make choices, not just on the field, but off the field, how to carry yourself, how you conduct yourself, and unfortunately made a bad choice. So we'll continue to educate, and hopefully the rest of the guys will get the message.
How many things are actually being changed or implemented? Because talking to Jalen, he said, like you actually said earlier, you guys have been doing this for
we have, but we've got a 4-step program that we've jumped into.
Okay.
That we're trying to really just push up, and we had Coach T. White come in the other day and did a 5-hour seminar, which was phenomenal. About, even educating, again, putting in situations, having them stereotype, had them role play, which we have done before, but we took it even more extensively into what we were doing. Had a young man call in who had a bad situation that got caught, had never been in trouble in his life, and made one bad choice with a woman and cost him a couple of years in jail. And he spoke to our team and how it can cost you. We have, we're doing, bringing in the Navy SEAL people because they deal with a lot of those same kinds of issues. And we're going. Russell Wilson and I have become friends over the last couple of years, and we're talking mutually and different things. And he has the Pass the Peace initiative, which is bringing attention to national domestic violence. We'll be a part of that initiative. They keep educating those programs and all things. But again, like I said, we've been doing things, and it's just like I say in the game plan. You do things, you try to prevent things, you have it out there, and then when they change, you keep adding to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to do, and continue to put those out there for our kids and give them the best possible chance to be successful.
Was that seminar you were just talking about, was that totally about domestic violence?
Yes, totally about domestic violence. And we had them scheduled to come in August, and we have another speaker, Bob Delaney, who was the vice president of the NBA, who has a program that we had scheduled to come in August too. So we tried to speed one of them up, we still have another one coming in. But we spend over 40 days a year on different varying things from drugs, alcohol, those things. But again, when you see that that's not enough, you continue to improve and expand what you have for your kids.
And then on the front end, do these summer instances make you think, okay, are we doing taking the right approach in recruiting the right character guys?
Oh yeah, I do, because DeAndre Johnson, I mean, was a 3.5 student, had never been in trouble in his life. You couldn't go out and find him more money. You saw him on Good Morning America with his mother. He was never raised that way. He was not coached that way. He was a good guy who made a bad choice. He made a poor decision, and it was very critical, in a critical moment. And we all are about decisions in life. That's what life's about. Decisions you make in key situations. How to handle pressure, how to handle different situations. I mean, so I would recruit DeAndre Johnson over and over again because there was no indication that anything was there. He made a poor choice. And we research and background our guys tremendously, and as much as we possibly can to find that. So I don't think we have, again, I say this all the time, we are a very talented football team. I think we have better kids on our team than we have players. I say that, but we've had a few guys make a mistake.
Are you concerned about perception of your program outside of your office?
You always are worried about perception, but what you have to deal with is reality. And you have to consistently do things right. And if you want to change perception, you have a continual performance in the right way for long periods of time, and perception changes. And I don't think it's what's happening at Florida State is relative to Florida State. It's happening all over this country. We get more attention of it because of the success of our program. And I understand that. That's part of winning. That's part of being one of the top programs in America. And we accept that responsibility, and our players have to accept that responsibility. And because Florida State is a tremendous university, and we want to represent it the right way, and I think our kids do.
Jimbo,
But we have to continue to work on the problem we have.
You said your player made a bad choice. I mean, a lot of isn't that kind of minimizing?
No, I'm not minimizing. I think it's a tremendous. But when you make a bad choice, there's minimal choices and there's maximum choices. He was dismissed from the football team. I think our punishment, it shows it was a majorly poor choice. I'm not minimizing anything at all. But he had never done anything wrong in his past. But he made one major mistake. So I'm not minimizing it at all. I'm not looking bad on it because there's no tolerance for hitting women. There's no tolerance for hitting women. I'm not minimizing that one bit.
Concerned that there have been multiple incidents?
Well, I can't comment on the other one until that case has run its course. I mean, and we'll see when that goes. Right now, we know it's one, and then we'll wait for the facts of the other. And I cannot speak on that because that's an ongoing investigation.
There have been a couple of others who have either been accused or kicked off the team in the past.
The instances we've had in the past, and that was another. I mean, we've had Jermon Fortson, which was not. We've had Greg Reed, which is, we've kicked significant players off our team. I mean, the first year I was there, Jermon Fortson was our best returning player. Greg Reed, they have, that guy was a tremendously great player. Greg Dick, he had an issue with it, and Mount is back in school with Valdosta right now. But he was our MVP, the national championship year. He was our best player. So I mean, addressing issues and taking care of discipline is not going to. Marcus Allegba, we're short at linebacker. Our best linebacker has probably been a first, second round draft pick, was just missed a year ago. So I mean, from those issues about punishing guys, if offenses are justified, then we definitely do it. No matter how good a player you are, what you are. And each instance is different, and I think each case is different. You have to wait and see the facts of everything that comes in.
As relative CEO, how responsible do you feel that this is taking place in your watch?
Just like it is anywhere else in the country. I think you, as a head coach, you take responsibility. It is your responsibility, and you continue to educate. Just like a parent does. You educate your kids as parents, and you hope they don't make mistakes. When they do, you punish, adjust, whatever you do, and you continue to educate so they don't do it again. And you try not to.
Not hitting a woman seems like such a basic.
I agree with you. You think you would never have to ever say that, but everything in culture in our society changes daily. Our world changes. Look at TV. Look at everything you see out there. Everything that goes on. So what you have to do is don't take. It's like coaching. what you learn, don't take anything for granted. Try to cover as many things from A to Z as you possibly can to educate. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, to make sure you address every issue out there. You wouldn't think you would have to say that, but you do. And we'll continue to do that, and we'll do it even in a greater force now to educate our guys about not doing it and how to avoid those situations coming. And hopefully they'll listen.
Jimbo, there was talk that you might have banned players from clubs or bars or anything like that.
We just and that's the president said, we banned them from trying to put themselves in bad situations. You know what I mean? Again, it's like on a football field. You don't put yourself in 3rd and 20. You move the ball. You know what I'm saying? So we try not to tell them where the hot spots are, where things happen. And it's a constant educational battle, and try to eliminate mistakes by not putting yourself in tough situations. And that was what we were trying to do. President Thrasher and I, we all agreed on what we were trying to do and educate our guys in those situations to avoid those places or areas, because that's where some of those things have occurred. So the instances have occurred.
So can guys go to a bar?
Right now, as a team and as a group, we elected to keep ourselves out of those positions. They are not going, because they elected to, and we elected to educate them about that.
Has it been more difficult to enjoy the success the program's had in the last few years because of instances like this, because of the constant scrutiny?
No, I don't. I think that goes with the territory, and that's what you guys. You're doing your job. You're reporting on the programs that are out there in the forefront. I understand that, and it gets forced on that. I mean, it doesn't stop the enjoyment of the other 100 guys, 120 guys on the team to do things right. But I mean, there's always instances that you have to deal with. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. It hasn't that part, but it is disappointing that we have those issues because, again, as a coach, you take responsibility. And other guys that I've had to kick off, I look at myself and say, look, I could not reach those guys. Why could I not reach those guys? And I look at that as myself and trying to always improve, because guys come from different backgrounds, different makeup. Just like what the story I tell today, not one of y'all will write it the same. You all interpret everything I say. Most of it will be different. Your take on the story and how it goes. Well, just like when you're educating kids, you got 100 kids. When you educate them, they all see it, or coming from a different background or different environment, they hear it in a different way. Just like I would say that if you have 4 kids in the same family with the same parents, same grandparents, and mom and dad tells all 4 of them to do the exact same thing, very rarely do all 4 do exactly the same thing. And that's from the same parents. So my point is, you're constantly having to, I educate myself on trying to know each individual as much as I can to make sure he's getting the message in which we're trying to get across. Because everybody perceives and hears things in a different way. And it's everybody's own opinion. And that's life. And as a coach, that's one of the great challenges, is to make sure you educate to each individual, because each individual affects everybody on the team, just like when you coach them, just like they do off the field. And I think that's something that I continue to do in programs and talk with sports psychologists, mental psychologists, people who deal with behavior issues, different people from middle-class families, from rich families, from poor families, from all the different of how they perceive the world. And we're all perceive the world from what we're brought up in, the households we're brought up in, and the influence we've had in our life. And I think as a coach, that's one of the great challenges you have, because you have a multiplicity of people and backgrounds that you have to constantly educate. And it's a great challenge, but it's one of the reasons I like coaching. I like trying to reach people.
Because domestic violence player conduct has been a national issue, has Florida State been unfairly?
No, I mean, you're judged on what you do. And we've had a couple instances, just like other people have too. And I can say it's not a Florida State problem, it's a national problem. It's not just an athletic problem, it's a domestic problem all across our country. And there's always issues across our country that are hot spots at that particular time to get the news. And we don't tolerate it, don't accept it. And when the facts show, we dismissed DeAndre, we dismissed Greg Dent, those issues in which we've had. So, it is what it is. We're in a world of that. Hopefully, again, like you say, we don't want our guys to ever touch any women or have any kind of domestic violence. That was our goal and our objective.
Jimbo, what was
your
the
school president? Spoke to your players, which is pretty unusual.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's in our locker room quite often. He comes after games quite often. He likes to show his support for our program. He's been in the locker room after 2 or 3 games and shown good support. And he's there. I love our president because he and I have a tremendous relationship. And that's him. I like for that part of it, and he likes for that part of the university not to be separate, that we all are normal. And I think he does a tremendous job of communicating.
Did he also talk to you? Do you also say, Coach, what's going on here?
Yeah, we talk all the time. We have open conversation, not just this. We talk during the season. We talk when things are good. We talk when things are bad. And when good, this is what's going on. When it's bad, these are an issue. This is an issue. How are you handling it? And I presented that 4-piece program which we had and things in which we had coming up, and he was very explicit with it. We're trying to expand on from our AD, from Stan Wilcox to him, different spots, because they're not my kids. They're our kids. They're the president, the AD, the head coach. They're all our kids. We're in Florida State have a responsibility, and I like their interaction. We have a great relationship. Always have.
Jimbo, a couple coaches have said their rules, if you hit a woman, you're off the team. Obviously not every school has done the same thing.
Because you've seen it. You've seen the 2 instances that came about that were fact with Greg Dinn and DeAndre. So yes, I mean, in each case, the circumstances of each case, you address wait till the facts come out.
Jimbo, did you consider just missing down?
No, I wait till I make decisions based on facts of what goes on and wait till the case plays itself out.
I just want to clarify because I could have sworn that one of your players yesterday said there was no ban on going to bars or clubs, but you're saying there definitely is a...
There was one by all of us. Our players and our coach, we talked about that, and they are saying they're not putting themselves in those positions. They're not doing it either. So it's a collective ban. Because we talked about how to solve it. Because I like to include them in, all right, I can be a dictator. Just like your parents say, don't sneak out. How many of y'all ever snuck out? How many of y'all missed curfew? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What you got to get them to collectively understand is how this is done and the reason why we don't need to be in those places. And they collectively as a group said the same thing. We don't need to be there, we're not going there.
Is it only bars or are there other situations?
It's any trying just to eliminate all those situations. Mainly the one we talked about was bars and clubs that played out because that's where a lot of issues happen.
Jimbo, what was the players' response to that meeting? Did you have guys coming up to you after and say,
very much
what
so.
do
The
I
leadership
do?
of our team, what do we need to do? We have issues, coach, we're going to take care of it. We're going to make sure this happens. Very good. Very extremely positive in the way you want your team to react. Again, because I think we have a tremendously great group of guys on our team as a general consensus. And they want to make sure that they do not tarnish the legacy of what they bring to Florida State.
Will it be a relief when you guys finally get into camp and can just concentrate? Is it possible to just concentrate on football at that point?
It's always you have to compartmentalize everything you do in life. You control what you control at the present moment. It's because that's going on and I'm doing this. That's not going to help me worry about it, why I have to do this. Then when that's over with, you address your issues and worry about things and take care of things at the appropriate time. And I think that's part of also maturing. I think that's one thing our team has learned to do with being a high-profile team. I think we have to learn to do that as a coach, as a player, as a human being. I think in life, I mean, there's many human beings walking the earth that aren't athletes that have many things going on in life, that have jobs, have careers, have things going on. They have to compartmentalize, and handle things when they can handle things. Everybody has issues in life and problems. Life doesn't care. Life's not, it's merciless. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a normal human being, whether you're an astronaut, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, everybody has issues. And I think that's part of growing up and things that we try to educate our guys in the programs we have about compartmentalizing and educating and taking care of things. So if you're worried about one thing, now I don't make one problem 2 problems or 3 problems or 4 problems.
Should there be a national rule as far as player conduct?
I don't think. I mean, each person has. We do. It's called